suppose, I mean, it's by the time the quarterfinals come, Rob, Hanneke Meyer will more or less know his starting side. This weekend's opponent, Japan, how much do we, I beg your pardon, know about them? We know Eddie Jones is a quality coach, and he's definitely given Japanese rugby a huge boost. Do you think it's going to be the route that we think it is?
I'm not too sure. Opening game, of course, things, there can be a few cobwebs. You've got a lot of, especially in the Springboks case, you've got all these sort of old-timers kind of filtering their way back in. So we don't really know just how much gas they're going to have in the tank. I'm hoping the Springboks get off to a really good start and kind of just sort of settle any nerves, put the game to bed effectively pretty early on. Although there is always the chance too that we may have to excuse them a rusty first 20 minutes or so while sort of some of the combinations kind of re-find each other, if you like. Look, you know, the Boks are very big on saying that they always respect all opposition. Hanneke Meyer is big on respect, and he's obviously right, you know, but there's also a certain sort of political correctness in saying that. At the end of the day, we all know that as Springbok fans, I don't think that we'll settle for much less than a sort of 40 to 45 or 50 points sort of near route, if you like. Anything more than that obviously would be great too, and you never know, because Japan do have a bit of a wonky record in World Cups. They have had some really nasty sort of butcherings at World Cups, including even at 2011. You know, they've lost a few games by sort of 80, 90, 100-point margins over the years. We don't know yet whether they're actually going to be that much better. You mentioned, of course, Eddie Jones. In a sense, it almost is the Springboks versus Eddie Jones. He may well be the toughest opponent, if you like, with the greatest of respect to some of their players. He's been in the Springbok camp. He's been in a Springbok World Cup camp. Okay, it was back in 2007, but a lot of those players from 2007 are still part of the mix. So he knows a little bit about the whole box psychology and what makes a lot of our players tick. He'll be transferring that knowledge to his players. All we know is that Japan apparently are going to sort of tackle low, which is, you know, interesting, because we tend to like sort of big upper body strength ball carriers, and so it's a big test for someone like Willem Alberts, I suppose, who's supposed to be the big battering ram. How much leeway is he going to get, or is he going to be sort of tripped up before he even gets out of the blocks, kind of thing. So interesting test. We've never played them before, so not too much intelligence sort of from a one-on-one historical perspective, and we just have to wait and see. But as I say, I hope that the Boks get off to a pretty flying start to just settle those butterflies and get into sort of try-scoring mode.
Okay. Garen, lastly, I've singled out a couple of the other notable games from the opening weekend, and just a little prediction from you. Of course, the opening game at 9 o'clock on Friday evening, England versus Fiji. That's the pool in Pool A. And then after the South African game, you've got France versus Italy in Pool B. Then on Sunday, New Zealand, Argentina in Pool C. That's probably the biggest game of the weekend.
Absolutely. You know, in contrast to South Africa starting against one of the minnows in their group, you've got New Zealand playing their toughest game up first against Argentina. You know, that's another rugby championship sort of matchup. It should be a humdinger of a game. I think both those teams actually will go through no matter who wins and loses. It just really depends which order. Obviously, New Zealand will start as huge favourites. They're going to pick a really strong team, make a statement in the first game. I see them, beating Argentina by 10 to 15 points, maybe even more if they really click on the day. France, Italy, again, another Six Nations matchup there. Both those teams will have a chance. France, always, your dark horses. Last time out in 2011, we didn't expect them to get all the way to the final, and they almost won the whole tournament. So you never really know what to expect. Obviously, France got a couple of former South Africans there, so it'll be nice to watch old Rory Cockett and Scott Spedding playing and stuff like that. So again, I expect France to win that game, even though Italy will be game for it. In the opening match, rather, England, again, they're in the group of death. They really have to, register a lot of points if it comes down to sort of points difference and all that sort of thing at the end. So I think they're going to be too strong for Fiji. But again, I'm really excited to watch Fiji. I love the style that they play, throw the ball around. A lot like Japan, they're not going to want to scrum. They're not going to want to try and prevent the rolling more. They're going to want to run the ball, tackle, spread it from everywhere, not set up too many lineouts and have too many, scrums at all. So let's hope Fiji scores some really good tries.
And you, Rob?
Yeah, I tend to agree with Garen. I think perhaps the France-Italy game is the one where you might just have a little bit of a sort of a mini banana peel, if you like, because Italy will certainly feel that France are they know that France are a sort of moody side, a strange team who are capable of great achievements on any given day if they're really pumped up, but also of being sort of rank awful. And they do have a little bit of a habit of sometimes having sort of nervy starts to World Cups. So Italy's a big test for them. And if Italy get their sort of scrummaging acts together, which they always try to do, they could be in business. But I'm not going Italy's way. I think France will do it. And I also agree with Garen. New Zealand, Argentina. The best hope, if you're a South African neutral wanting perhaps Argentina to upset the big gun, would be that the Argentine pack scrums like there's no tomorrow. But New Zealand are wily customers. They're ready for all tricks. So I'm not going Argentina. Certainly, it's New Zealand for me as well.
I saw an interesting stat. I think Argentina have the youngest side at the World Cup, average age-wise.
Yeah, well, we've seen they are starting to filter in a new generation of players, that Durban result should be a wake-up call to a lot of the world about what they potentially can do on a good day. Much interest in how they go, but no, I don't see them being able to get even close to New Zealand.
Great, gents. Thank you very much.